Namaste. I, Jamian Nitika Chatwal, Assistant Professor in Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, is here to deliver the lecture on pharmaceutical quality assurance. I am from Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences Department. This subject comes under B.Pharm 6th semester, in which the scope of this course deals with the various aspects of quality control and quality assurance aspects of pharmaceutical industries. It deals with the important aspects like CGMP, quality control test, documentation, quality certification, and regulatory affairs. Now, what is the objective of this subject? Upon completion of the course, students shall be able to understand the CGMP aspects in a pharmaceutical industry, appreciate the importance of documentation. They will understand the scope of quality certification application to pharmaceutical industries and understand the responsibility of quality assurance and quality control departments. Now, in the course content, this is the unit first in which we are discussing our today's topic, which is ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. In this topic, this is the continuation of previous lecture, which I described ISO 9000, and in that section, now we are discussing ISO 14000. What is ISO 14000? ISO 14000 is a series of international environmental management standards, guides, and technical reports. These standards specify the requirements for establishing an environmental management policy, determining environment impact of products or services. The other standards ISO 14000 focus on audits, communication labeling, life cycle analysis, and environmental challenges such as climate change. ISO 14000 is different from most of the other ISO standards. It is a generic management system standard. Now, what are the benefits of ISO 14000? The first benefit of ISO 14000 is the better management of environmental risk now and in future. The second benefit is increases access to new customers and business partners. Third point of benefit is demonstration of legal and regulatory compliance. And the fourth benefit of this ISO 14000 is potential for reduced public liability cost. And other is overall cost saving in terms of consumption, waste, and recycling is done. Cost saving is there and enhanced customer satisfaction is there. If enhanced customer satisfaction is there, then the market share will be higher. And environmental benefits are also the main benefits of ISO 14000. Now, what are the elements of ISO 14000? The elements of ISO 14000 are in 6 key elements. The first key element is environmental policy. The second key element is planning of this system. The third key element is the implementation of this system. And the fourth key element is study and correction of this system. The fifth key element of ISO 14000 is management review. And the sixth, which is last key element of ISO 14000, is continuous improvement. So these are all the 6 key elements of ISO 14000. Now, what are the steps for registration in ISO 14000? The first step is to do environmental management system scope, where selecting certification body. After that, complete established contract. After completing the established contract, there will be the step of document review. After reviewing the document, the first stage occurs. In first stage, assessment should be done. After that, certification assessment will be done. After certification assessment, award certification occurs. After award certification, surveillance visit in every 6 months of the year will be done by ISO unit. Now, what is QUA or Q4A? The Q4A is pharmacopoeial harmonization. And what is Q5A and Q5E? Quality of biotechnological products are assessed in Q5A and Q5E. The Q5A stands for Viral Safety Evaluation of Biotechnology Products derived from cell lines of human and animal origin. And Q5B is related to analysis of rDNA derived protein product. Now, what is Q6B and Q6A? The Q6A and Q6B are under specification in which the Q6A is for the role Q6A is for the role Q6A is for final stabilization, and in last step of ISO 14,000 certification, the renewal assessment, which is a final visit, is done. So these are all the steps of ISO 14,000 registration. So this is for this lecture. Thank you so much. If you have any queries, please let me know. And if you have any question regarding this, please ask me. And please make sure to write down some short notes about this lecture. Okay. After this, we are going to discuss our next lecture, which is on the second subject, that is NABL accreditation. In NABL accreditation, which is also comes under in unit first of pharmaceutical quality assurance subject, and in NABL accreditation, we will study principles and the procedures for NABL accreditation. Now, what is NABL? NABL stands for National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories. Now, this is the important question for MCQ. And in MCQ, they can ask, what is the full form of NABL? So NABL stands for what? National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories. Now, NABL is an autonomous or automatic society providing accreditation of technical competence for testing, calibration, medical laboratories. NABL is an autonomous body under the aegis of Department of Science and Technology. And this science and technology governs Government of India, in which it is registered under the Society Act. So NABL is an autonomous body under the aegis of Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, and is registered under the Societies Act. Now, what are the benefits of NABL accreditation? Due to accreditation status, customer confidence in testing and calibration reports issued by the laboratory has increased. Due to this, the business of laboratory has also increased. Accreditation provides better control over the laboratory operations. And what is the scope of NABL accreditation? In the scope of NABL accreditation has in many various possibilities. The first one is testing laboratories, and in second one is in medical laboratories, and the third one is calibration laboratories, and the fourth one is reference material procedure, where the scope of NABL states. Now, what is the procedure of NABL and accreditation? First, the person should go for the application for accreditation by laboratory. Okay, if a laboratory is going through for the NABL accreditation, it should provide the application for accreditation. After that, acknowledgement of application by NABL secretariat is given. After acknowledgement of application, the adequacy quality manual by lead assessors are given. After that, pre-assessment of laboratory by lead assessor can be given. After that, security of assessment report by NABL secretariat is given to that personnel. After that, necessary corrective action by laboratory is done. This is the main process for NABL accreditation. Now, this process occurs in various steps, and this is all about NABL accreditation. Now, this part is over for NABL accreditation. Now, if you have any queries regarding NABL accreditation subject or topic, you can ask me, because this topic is very short. So in this, only principle and procedures are there. So we covered the both principles and procedures in this topic. And now we are covering our second unit, which is organization and personnel in quality assurance. This pharmaceutical quality assurance subject is very interesting because if we are moving to pharmaceutical industries, then this topic is very important for those who are going to work under any pharmaceutical industry. So please make sure to know about this subject, and please make some interest in this subject because this is very important. And thank you for listening to this topic. If you have any queries, please let me know. If you have any suggestions, then also please let me know. Please make sure to write down some short notes about this topic and make a star note on this important question which I am going to deliver to you. Okay, so thank you so much.